All right, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now, I do apologize for essentially covering the same topic 2 days in a row, okay? But one, there's not a whole lot going on in the MMA world today. And two, I find it impressive the amount of salt that Alex Pereira can produce with like a single victory, okay? Because we have here another interview with Anthony Smith in which he says even more completely deranged, delusional, unhinged things. And then also we are going to cover a Jamahal Hill interview with the Schmo because... look, I debated with myself for the better part of today, like 12 hours of today, on whether or not I was going to include Jamahal Hill in this video, okay? Because I like Jamahal Hill. But some of the things he is saying about the fight and how it played out are absolutely delusional, okay? This is not an opinion. This is just true, okay? And it's unfortunate, but I also thought to myself, well, I should keep that same energy because if I'm going to trash Anthony Smith or Daniel Cormier or whoever else for having completely deranged takes, then I should do so for Jamahal Hill, even though he, you know, I've said this in other videos, was one of the first fighters to ever acknowledge my existence on YouTube, shout out my channel, and all that shit. Either way, dude, we're going to get into the Anthony Smith interview first. Then we will get to Jamahal Hill after that, okay? Now, I apologize. I've tried to lower the volume. Hopefully it's not too loud because when I first press play on this video, this dude to the left screaming with his microphone right up here blew my fucking eardrums, okay?
You changed it all of him, like just seeing this three.
Bro, chill.
No. Because listen, here's the deal. I'm doing my breakdowns and my analysis. Very true. Whether he and I have this thing back and forth or not, I'm very honest about my analysis of him. And everything that I've said, I stand by. Like that's just the fight game. Like he is caught lightning in a bottle. And I don't mean that as like he's getting lucky because he's not. He's a legitimate threat. He's a legitimate danger. But because of the matchups and some circumstances, like Jan Blachowicz is a much better mixed martial artist. He proved that in the first round. I don't think he adjusted to the altitude.
That's the first unhinged thing. Okay, I'm going to point that out right there. Jan Blachowicz did not prove he is a better mixed martial artist, okay, in that first round. He proved he is a better grappler, okay? That's what he proved. He also proved that his striking defense and ability to close the distance on a guy like Alex Pereira is better than fucking anybody that's fought him thus far, okay? He did not prove he was a better mixed martial artist. And then Anthony Smith goes on to blame the altitude. Well, guess what, motherfucker? Alex Pereira was fighting in that exact same arena, in that exact same city, in that exact same state, okay? So if the altitude's affecting Jan Blachowicz, it is also affecting Alex Pereira. So that's just the first unhinged cope, okay, from Anthony Smith. We'll continue.
Of Salt Lake City, because then he was gassed and was kind of reserved to standing in front of Alex after that because he couldn't get a takedown because he was tired. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like, I'm not knocking Alex for that. I think he did a great job staying safe. I thought that he showed a little bit of improvement in his grappling. But he had a top 5 light heavyweight on his back for almost 5 minutes. How many?
He showed a little bit of improvement in his grappling and then goes on to give maybe one of the best reasons as to why it was a pretty significant improvement in his grappling. So you had a top 5 light heavyweight on your back for almost 5 minutes and you didn't get submitted. Okay, when everybody's thought for the longest time, if you just get this guy to the ground, right? You just get this guy to the ground, it's a wrap. That's not been the case, okay? And this is after, by the way, he was knocked out horribly 3 months ago. And he comes up to light heavyweight in Salt Lake City against Jan Blachowicz, who, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated light heavyweights ever. Had him on his back for almost, I think it was 4 minutes, something like that, and did not get submitted, okay? That is, if anything, a testament to a large improvement in his grappling rather than, well, a little one. But, you know, he had him on it, like, Jan Blachowicz wasn't able to do a whole lot with it now, was he? Okay, but we'll continue.
Other light heavyweights on it. Does Magomed Ankalaev get out of that first round?
All right, now I just want to point this out. I'm sorry I'm pausing it a lot, but Jesus Christ. Does Magomed Ankalaev get out of that first round? This is the whole, like, Jan Blachowicz isn't a grappler narrative, which I'm going to concede, okay? Because I think Jan Blachowicz is one of the best strikers that has ever fucking fought in the UFC, period. Okay? I think he's very underrated. Technically speaking, at least. Jan Blachowicz has way more submission victories than Magomed Ankalaev does. Guess how many, anybody tell me, how many submission victories does Magomed Ankalaev have? Not even just in the UFC, in his entire MMA career. Yeah, it's 0. Fucking not a single one, dude. Not a single one, okay? That's not really his game. As a matter of fact, he's been submitted by Paul fucking Craig, okay? Which I know Paul Craig, you know, has his moments, but Jesus, buddy. You're supposed to be this ground submission grappling threat like specialist, and you've got 0 submission wins at all throughout your career, and you've been submitted by a guy who's now fighting at a weight class below you, getting completely and totally dominated on the ground by a guy like Brendan Allen. Okay? So it's weird to me. Jan Blachowicz has like 8 or 9 submission victories throughout his career. As Anthony Smith says, a black belt. Unreal.
You know, like in that same position, probably unlikely. You know what I mean? Like, is there like if I'm on your back for that amount of time, do you get out of the first round? Probably not. Like let's just stop all the fucking bullshit. Let's just be honest. If I'm Jan Blachowicz, do I finish in that position? 100% of the time.
You know what, dude? I'm gonna give it to him. I'll give it to him. If Anthony Smith was on Alex Pereira's back, both hooks in, okay, for 5 minutes, I do think he'd find the choke. However, Anthony Smith does not have the tools available to him to get to that position. He just doesn't, dude. He's not closing the distance without getting caught with some shit. He's not standing there for, if his legs are getting chopped away the way that Jan Blachowicz, that's why Jan Blachowicz shot so quickly, okay, because he dealt with the leg kicks and thought, shit, I'm going to grapple. Because Jan Blachowicz, as one of the best strikers in the UFC, knows what level Alex Pereira is as a striker. Whereas all these other dudes seem to fucking forget, okay? Funny. But Anthony Smith, you're not getting there, bro. You're not getting there. You're just not. You're just not. Jan Blachowicz was able to eat a couple leg kicks and rush in, right? Because he has shins also made of fucking titanium, right? You don't, dude. You don't, okay? So yes, if you were on this back for 5 minutes, maybe you do find the choke. Probably you do find the choke, actually. But you ain't getting there, okay? This is a weird hypothetical. What are we doing, fucking, sudden death overtime in combat jiu-jitsu and you get to start from the back, or what's going on here?
100% of the time. Hooks in against the fence, you're belly down. I'm taking home $50,000 extra. That is happening. If Magomed Ankalaev gets to that same position, that's happening. I can give you 5 other light heavyweights that will get to that position. Jan Blachowicz isn't necessarily known as a submission finisher. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He does very well on the ground. But he's not a prolific finisher on the ground, and that's fine. I think that Alex Pereira did a great job in that position, and I think that he did what he had to do in the second and third round, very, very tired at altitude to get the win. I have no knocks against that. He beat a really tough dude. Jamahal Hill, there is no wrestling threat. I'm not talking shit about Jamahal. That's just not his game. So that's a favorable matchup. That's a 50-50 at best for both of them. Like without the threat of a takedown, you strike very differently in a fight when you're not worried about someone shooting a takedown. Yuri Prochazka is and that might be the only fight that I picked Alex Pereira, because Yuri Prochazka is a defensive irresponsibility. He's too free. He's too open. He takes a lot of leg kicks. We just seen it in the Alexander Rakic fight. Now, credit to Yuri. I think he did a great job. He was able to stay safe. He was able to land some big shots. He hurt Rakic. That I thought he did great. But there was a lot of problems there. He got hit a lot. He got banged up with the leg kicks, and the same thing happened with Pereira. He pushed Pereira really hard, but then he's not responsible in those tight spots. And he took a hard shot. Glover Teixeira banged up Yuri Prochazka pretty bad on his feet too. Like,
I agree with these takes, by the way, on Yuri Prochazka, and he says that Yuri Prochazka is the only person that he actually picked to lose against Alex Pereira, but earlier said that he's looking at things and analyzing things honestly. Man, I think that if you honestly, and we're being honest with yourself, okay, watched Jamahal Hill's fights, and then watched Alex Pereira's fights, I don't know that you could pick Jamahal Hill to win that fight. I don't know. Anthony Smith even brags about earlier in this interview that we didn't go over that part, but brags about how he saw the same tendency that Alex Pereira saw on Jamahal Hill, which I'm assuming has to be the dropping of that lead hand down to your fucking hip every time. Almost every single exchange. Okay? If you watched his fights back and you didn't pick that up, or you didn't think that was going to be a big enough factor when you're talking about the guy who the best left hook in all of combat sports, point blank period, and you pick him to, like, I don't know. It's weird to me, but either way.
He's had some, I don't want to say favorable matchups because that makes it sound like he's ducking people. He's not. He's just had some matchups that have really worked in his favor, and he's had some things fall his way. That's fucking MMA. That's the game. Like, sometimes things just fall your way. Like,
okay. I don't want to say he's had some favorable matchups, but then he kind of goes on to say that he's had some favorable matchups. Now, Alex Pereira has beat 5 former champions in 8 fights in the UFC. Okay, and we talked about this yesterday where, yeah, you can get an opportunity. You have to make good on it, right? He's fighting former champions. And we have to go back to Anthony Smith's days at middleweight against an old, washed up Rashad Evans to find a former champion, a former UFC champion on Anthony Smith's resume, okay? Whereas Alex Pereira comes in and everybody that he's ticked off has been a champ within 5 years. Or, 5 years ago, right? These are all like recent history champions or former champions, right? Israel Adesanya, Sean Strickland, Yuri Prochazka, Jamahal Hill, and Jan Blachowicz. The favorable fucking buddy. I don't think you're winning those fights, dude. And Anthony Smith, I don't think wins a single one of those fights, if I'm being honest. Okay. Favorable matchups. Unbelievable. We're going to skip ahead a little bit, 20 seconds ahead, and we'll continue on from there. Uh-oh. We'll go from here.
The game, that's going to happen to all of us.
And I say
to answer your question, I stand by everything you said. Like, he's and DC says it all the time. Like, how is this guy still winning fights? Yeah,
because you guys won't acknowledge how good he is. That's why it's surprising to you. Okay, when you look at the people on YouTube, the people on MMA YouTube who are picking fights, the majority of them are picking Alex Pereira to win his fights. Because I believe that we are actually being honest. We are actually looking at things honestly and objectively rather than being fucking pissed off that a kickboxer came into your sport and has pushed all... Dude, run shit, okay? Daniel Cormier, it's odd to me that Daniel Cormier as a pretty much they all do it, dude. They all do it. They all pick the opponent to beat Alex Pereira, but then you go on and you look at MMA YouTube, it's the exact opposite. Like, this is the problem here. Well, either you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about, which I don't think is the case, okay? Because despite how silly and that's not even the right word, but whatever, dude. Despite how ridiculous Anthony Smith can be at times, there's no way that he doesn't understand fighting. Do you know what I mean? At the very least, to a certain degree. There's no way Michael Bisping doesn't understand. There's no way Daniel Cormier, there's no way these guys don't understand fighting, right? It's not that the people on YouTube making videos are more intelligent in the sport or about the sport than they are. It's that they are not being honest and objective when they are looking at things. They are envious. They want to see Alex Pereira lose, and so they hope that they get the same fucking voodoo powers that Israel Adesanya does so they can manifest it, okay? Jesus Christ, these guys.
That's the same thing. It's because it doesn't make any sense. Like, he has a very limited skill set. He's very, 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 very dangerous at one thing, and he's mediocre at the rest.
This is the vast majority of all of them, by the way. Daniel Cormier, very good wrestler, mediocre striker, okay? That's just a fact. Anthony Smith, pretty good, I'll give it to him. Very good jiu-jitsu practitioner, very good grappler. Anthony Smith is a mediocre striker. I don't give a fuck what any of you guys say. He is. And it's, of course, relative. Could he kick my ass? Yeah. But we're talking about being in the UFC, okay? Compared to Alex Pereira, compared to Jan Blachowicz, compared to even Jamahal Hill, I might think, compared to Khalil Roundtree, clearly, you are a mediocre striker. You are very good on the ground, very good jiu-jitsu, very good submissions. You're mediocre at striking. This is the case for almost every single person. There is usually one area or one aspect in mixed martial arts where a fighter will excel, and then there's the rest that they know just enough about or can do just enough to remain safe in those positions. That's all of you. Why is it only mind-blowing when Alex Pereira is able to do this? Do you know what I mean? It's fucking insane. And then I'm going to skip ahead because apparently Matt Brown also is one of these guys. He went on to say something, in my opinion, completely unhinged, that this guy, to Anthony Smith's left, reiterates, because I guess they do a podcast with one another, and then Anthony Smith kind of feeds off of what Matt Brown said, allegedly, according to this nerdrotic looking dude, okay?
I thought people were going to come from Matt said, because we broke down 300, he had said that, like, he said, Alex is very dangerous, but I don't think he's a very technical striker. Like, his technical striking is kind of overrated. Like, he's a very dangerous, powerful guy, but, like, in terms of technicality, he's not the most technically sound striker. And I was like, man, people are going to come from Matt's head now because, like, and it's just being honest, like, Matt knows striking. Like, Matt.
Okay. I do not want to shit on Matt Brown, and I'm not gonna. But with all due respect, if you watch Alex Pereira fight and you watch Matt Brown fight in striking, in the striking department, it is not an argument who is more technically sound. with all due respect, Matt Brown does not know. I don't understand how these guys are pretending that Alex Pereira wasn't a 2-division glory champion, defending multiple times at middleweight, and I believe he defended at light heavyweight. Why do you guys think you know more about striking than this guy? I don't fucking get it, dude. I don't get it. Matt Brown, with all due respect, dude, you are not the epitome of technique. You're just not. You are known for having crazy, fun, savage fights. Okay? We don't ever see Matt Brown just picking apart somebody at range. What we see from Matt Brown is him winding up an elbow from right up there and bringing it down on Diego Sanchez's fucking head. Do you know what I mean? And sure, maybe he knows, in theory, technique, but he just chooses not to deploy it, I guess, for whatever fucking reason, because fuck brain cells, am I right, dude? But why do you think Alex Pereira, hey, dude, has some of the best technique we've ever seen in striking. I know that I'm just fucking glazing him, but I don't understand the inability to give Alex Pereira recognition from these guys is insane to me. And it is across the board. Okay, across the board. But let's hear what Anthony Smith has to say about that.
I understand striking very well. He's like, I'm not saying he's not good. He's very good. He's very powerful, very dangerous. But technically speaking, like guys like Adesanya is a more technical striker.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I can't stand that either. Oh, does being a technical striker mean you lean all the way back and throw your hook from down here so Sean Strickland can drop you with a right hand? Does being a technical striker mean I'm going to fucking dance around and switch stances a bunch and try to lure you into a trap or do fucking cool move? Like, what? By what metric? By what metric? Even the way that Israel Adesanya knocked him out, that was not really technique based, okay? And then I know there's going to be Israel Adesanya fans that are like, oh, well, he was winning the first fight and then he knocked him out. Okay, well, one of those rounds in their first fight was won in the grappling, okay? So 2 rounds apiece on the feet. They were even. Izzy won rounds 1 and 4. Alex Pereira won round 2 and clearly round 5, okay? So I don't understand this narrative of because a guy is more flashy, because a guy throws a question mark kick, because a guy fucking jabs from all the way down at his knee and throws a hook from back here, that he's a more technical striker. Alex Pereira, if you watch him throw a left hook, it is one of the most, it's literally exactly how you were supposed to do it. I don't get it, but either way.
Agree with that completely. I think he has parts of his game that are very, very calculated and technical. Like he might have the most effective, technically correct left hook I've ever seen in MMA.
Fair enough from Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
But like his leg kick, no one will teach you to throw a leg kick like that. Nobody. Not a fucking striking coach on the planet will teach you to throw a leg kick like that. Does it mean it's not good? No. Is it technically like correct in the way that every coach, pundit, analyst, and Muay Thai practitioner or Muay Thai and kickboxing practitioner on the planet would teach it? No, not at all.
Fair enough, dude. You want to know why though, dude? Because people, with all due respect, that are the best of all time or the greatest of all times at a particular thing usually don't follow all the rules. They're innovators, right? There's probably, at the time, there was probably not a guitar teacher alive that would teach Jimi Hendrix how to play the guitar the way that he played the guitar. As a matter of fact, I don't know guitar history all that well, but I have a feeling for some reason it was controversial at the time the way that he was playing the guitar, right? But Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe some dude, maybe some washed up semi-pro Muay Thai fighter that decided to open a gym won't teach you how to throw a leg kick like that, okay? But is that instructor, is he a 2-divisional Glory World Champion? Is he a 2-divisional UFC World Champion? No. Because the greatest athletes, the greatest music, all that shit, dude, they don't follow the rules all the time. The way he throws it is technically sound, okay? Because he invented it, dude. It's hard to defend against. It has very little telegraph on it. Like, all these things come into play. And then they just finished saying that Israel Adesanya is a more technical striker. Israel Adesanya does things incorrectly. No boxing coach will teach you to throw a left hook the way Israel Adesanya throws a left hook when he's in the pocket. No boxing coach will want you to throw a jab the way Israel Adesanya throws a jab. As a matter of fact, Israel Adesanya's body kicks are angled at such a way that a kickboxing coach wouldn't teach you that. Okay? But he's innovating. It's fucking mind-blowing to me, these guys. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's in relation to that, it's about as wrong as you can get. but it's effective and it works for him and he lands it every single time. So like, I understand what Matt said, but here's the deal: people don't listen to everything that we say.
The reason we don't listen to everything that you say is because of the, like, take you know, the saying, take this with a pinch of salt or whatever. When you guys say shit, we have to take it with a whole fucking bag of salt, because before you get to the, oh, actually he has the most perfectly technically sound left hook I've ever seen in all of MMA, we get all the bullshit before it, dude, right? It's just unhinged to me that I'm going to stand by everything that I said. And when he's doing that, by the way, he's essentially shitting on every single opponent he's ever beaten. Like, no, he's not that. I'd fuck him up. Like, no, get real. Anyways, dude, we're going to move to Jamahal Hill. This is already a longer video than I thought it was going to be. I do apologize for that, but let us get to the moments of Jamahal Hill's interview that I found to be absolutely insane. He's essentially accusing Alex Pereira of kind of cheating, but without going all the way there. Accusing Herb Dean of having a much bigger role in this knockout than he did, even a little bit. And the way that he justified, we're going to get there. Anyways, dude, I'm going to press play from here. We'll continue.
Well, the big talk is when there was the groin shot, they stopped the action in it, and then they resumed the action in there. Both you guys didn't reset, go to separate corners and stuff like that. People are pointing that out all over the interwaves. If Herb Dean could have done things differently, what could he have done?
I just want to point out it's a certain demographic of people that are pointing this out, okay? And they're Jamahal Hill fans, but that's not what I'm talking about. They're not. It's a certain kind of Jamahal Hill fan. I am a Jamahal Hill fan, okay? This is not a topic of conversation. This was not controversial in the slightest. There shouldn't even be a conversation about it, yet here I am entertaining it, so I guess I'm a fucking hypocrite, but Jesus Christ, dude. It's unhinged to me.
Oh, you said like the whole situation. I mean,
he's gonna act like he doesn't know what he's talking about, dude. This whole narrative comes from,
like I said, man, it's protect yourself at all times. But like, you know, right after they tell you that,
okay, listen, he keeps saying that as, I'll do it, I'm gonna try not to be a dick. He keeps saying that as a way to kind of like obfuscate from the blame that he's placing on others by saying like, no, I should have protected myself at all time, or protect myself at all time. When I hear somebody utter that phrase, well, it's protect yourself at all times, you know, that's on me. What I think of is like a Michael Bisping, Anderson Silva situation where Herb Dean had not called time, okay? Michael Bisping was trying to get the referee's attention, which you're not supposed to do, pointing to his mouthpiece, and Anderson Silva flying knees him, almost finishes the fight. That's what I think of. This was not that. This was not that. Both fighters involved were very aware that the fight had been reset. I don't understand how this is, it's insane to me.
it's obey my commands at all times too, you know.
Okay, I'm going to go back 5 seconds because he's trying to point out a contradiction here that does not make a whole lot of sense.
And it's protect yourself at all times. But like, you know, right after they tell you that, it's obey my commands at all times too, you know.
Protect yourself at all times, meaning like if I've not called time, don't fucking do what Michael Bisping did, okay? If you are on the ground getting the shit beaten out of you and you stop protecting yourselves, I have to stop the fight. Because if you are not intelligently defending yourself, that's when a fight gets stopped. It is not protect yourself at all times, but also listen to everything I say. So like, fucking put your hand on your stomach and pat your head at the same time and hop on one foot type shit. Do you know what I mean? It's not a contradiction, even a little bit. It's two different.
No, and when in the moment, whenever it happened, I stopped. He said stop before he interjected. I stopped, and you can see Alex continues to close the distance on me. So and then
Alex did take a step, by the way, but that's because he was already trying to. Alex Pereira was unaware that Herb Dean was coming to stop the action. He touched his own shit, his own dick, you know, and went, okay. And then kept going. Trying to, like, it's fine. Let's continue. Because he knew what he was about to do, dude.
And like I understand, like, yeah, it's a cold moment. He got hit in the nuts. He got pushed off. It wasn't a groin. He pushed it off and then he came. It wasn't a groin strike.
It wasn't a groin strike. Dude, I'm not pulling the fight up on this video because this video is way too long already. I don't know a single person on the face of the planet that has a hip that sounds like that, my guy. I don't care if your toes touched his hip bone. Part of your foot touched his cup. There's no arguing that. Why on earth, if that wasn't the case, why on earth did you stop? Bring your feet together, pat your chest, and give him a thumbs up like, are we good? I don't fucking get. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. How are you gonna sit here today? Dude, I'm sorry, Jamal. How are you gonna sit here today and tell me that wasn't a cup, dude? Don't gaslight me, bro. I know what a fucking cup sounds like, and I know what bones sounds like, dude. Okay? This is just unhinged. It absolutely hit cup, and you acknowledged it in the moment. Why are you now trying to?
And him closing the angle on me while I'm trying to check and make sure he's good and things like that. It was a great competitive move. You know, I should have peeped it, caught on to, and protected myself against. You know, but if Herb Dean could have done anything, I would have liked to have had a more clean and better reset.
If Herb Dean could have done anything, I would have liked to have a more clean, better reset. In other words, let us set a precedent, okay? Kind of like case law, where because you get a neutral and or advantageous position because you fouled a fighter, we're going to see that from here on out. Okay? If anybody has the distance closed on them, is backed up against the cage in a position where they don't feel comfortable, kick him in the dick, bro. Kick him in the dick. Because guess what? We'll get a clean reset. You go to a neutral corner, I go to a neutral corner, we'll get clapped in from there. Why on earth would the fighter that fouled be given that? I don't understand it, okay? I don't understand it.
Yeah. I think that would have been one thing I would have liked to see differently.
How do you move forward with yourself, going into every single fight, mindset and everything, dealing with something like that?
I mean, like the fact that a ref will give your opponent the control of the octagon like that, it makes me kind of think before I just straight up just disengage and just obey a ref's command like that.
The fact that a ref can, I want to play that back. That blows me away. I don't even know what to say to that.
That would have been one thing I would have liked to see differently.
And how do you move forward with yourself, going into every single fight, mindset and everything, dealing with something like that?
I mean, like the fact that a ref will give your opponent the control of the octagon, like
the fact that a ref will give your opponent control of the octagon, dude. Oh my God, Jamal, I'm sorry. That's not what happened. Alex Pereira got control of the octagon. You fouled him. Herb Dean didn't take the position that Alex Pereira had acquired from his own footwork, from his own striking, okay, the body jab, all the shit. He just didn't take it away from him. The same way that if there was a guy on top of you, okay, and you fouled by grabbing his glove or grabbing the cage or some bullshit, the referee's not going to remove him off of you and now give you the chance to fuck, or at the very least they shouldn't, okay? Because it's written in the rules. You shouldn't take an advantage position. That's not what happened. The referee did not give Alex Pereira that position. You guys were not in the center of the octagon. And Herb Dean went, you know what, dude? Get the fuck over here. You up against the fence behind those black lines. Alex, you start right here. That is not what happened. This is some weird, like, oh man, I don't even want to say it. This is some weird, like, victim shit, bro. Obviously, Jamal Hill's not a fucking victim, but this is some weird, like, when you find out that the system can just fuck you like that. Like, what, you know what I mean? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
It makes me kind of think before I just straight up just disengage and just obey a ref's command like that. Like, you know what I mean? If I'm being honest, I don't want to, like I said, I ain't trying to make no excuse or anything, but if there's one thing that I look back on the fight that I would have done differently, it would have been kind of more so disregarded that command and stayed on my fight on my like I was the angles, because the only time the steps or even the steps that I took were in that moment where I was expecting a little bit of a break. He stepped behind me, so he wasn't exactly in my line of sight when he gave the go ahead signal. I did it.
I just want to point this out. Jamal Hill was in southpaw, right hand forward. Herb Dean's over here. Alex Pereira's in orthodox, left hand forward. Herb Dean over here. Herb Dean was as visible to Jamal Hill as he was to Alex Pereira. They were both open stance to Herb Dean. I mean, you're gonna disregard. I don't get it.
I did hear the fight, but it was a little late. If you hear it in the video, people got a little loud and things like that. But yeah, bro. As far as from Herb Dean, I would like to separate from me. I need to recognize the situation, quick, bang, and defend myself. You know.
I'm gonna skip ahead. We'll start from here.
No rest for the wicked. So you didn't take much damage then, eh? They didn't give you any medical suspension. You're going right back into training.
Yeah, 100%. You know, he landed a good shot. He was able to get. He closed it. He grabbed my hand, stepped on my foot. You know, kind of went down from that. But for the most part,
he grabbed my hand and stepped on my foot, and I kind of went down from that. Okay. My guy. I don't know. The people around you that are confirming this don't care about you or your well-being. That is not what happened. That's just not what happened. It's just, first of all, you're allowed to step on feet in MMA. You just are. You're allowed to stomp feet in MMA if you want to, okay? This is not boxing, right? Earlier in the fight, you stepped on his foot. You guys are southpaw orthodox for the most part. That happens, dude. You're constantly fighting for outside foot position, right? It's bound to happen, dude. Whether or not it was intentional, it doesn't fucking matter because it's not a foul. Also, you were engaging in the hand fighting yourself, and I would imagine you picked this up either directly from Israel Adesanya telling you or from watching Israel Adesanya's fights with Alex Pereira, because Israel Adesanya is very good at hand fighting, and then he leads with the rear hand. He'll throw a straight left off of the hand fighting, get Alex Pereira's hand fucking distracted, whatever, and then lead with the rear hand. That's what you were doing. You were hand fighting with him, and you were leading with the left hand. I mean, why are we acting like this is like some dirty like move or some shit, bro? People step on each other's feet all the time. Kamaru Usman made a living off of stomping on dudes' foots, for fuck's sakes.
It was just good, well placed shots that kind of knocked my equilibrium off a little bit, but it was nothing that was like damage. I never had a headache. I was never felt concussed or anything like that. I remember the full sequence of the things that happened. So, yeah.
Okay, this is the last thing. I'm not trying to again, dude. I'm trying not to shit on Jamahal Hill here. I don't want to make fun of him because it is what it is, dude. Fucking Christ. You didn't though, right? Maybe now, after you've had a day or two, when the impact wasn't immediate, you're able to recall everything that happened. But you got up and asked Herb Dean what had happened, and we could see when Herb Dean said what had happened, you said fuck. Like you didn't know. You asked. Listen, man. I don't know what to say. As I said at the beginning of this video, the amount of salt that Alex Pereira is capable of producing from everybody. Dude, I'm not talking just Jamahal Hill, not just Anthony Smith, but Daniel Cormier, Henry Cejudo, Kamaru, like all these guys, all these professional fighters or professional analysts that come from a more like, it's just fucking mind-blowing to me. It's all the same shit. And they are infuriated that a guy can come in from kickboxing and run shit because they view wrestling as the superior art, or they view, because, you know, nobody had a problem. Daniel Cormier doesn't have a problem with all these fucking Sambo guys coming in and running shit. But if it's kickboxer, all of a sudden it's like, how does he keep winning? I don't know, motherfucker. Maybe because he's an elite level striker and this isn't grappling. It's fucking mind-blowing to me. But either way, dude. Again, I know, I apologize. Same kind of topic 2 days in a row, but it's just mind-blowing to me. And, you know, we got basically Jamahal Hill accusing him of cheating, basically accusing Herb Dean of not doing his job correctly, which, bro, I am very critical of Herb Dean. I literally have a video that says he's the worst referee in the UFC, okay? He did his job perfectly fine there. We have Anthony Smith talking about how he's not good at shit. It's just mind-blowing. Either way, dude. Like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.